Hello everyone, I am Mohammad Irfan. In today's video, I will be explaining the human heart. For those of you who are from the Indian curriculum, this is the NCERT textbook. And for those who are not from the Indian curriculum, what I am going to explain is going to be helpful for you as well. Now, this is the human circulatory system, and the human circulatory system is also called the blood vascular system. And what it consists of is the muscular chambered heart, a network of blood vessels, and blood. And blood is the fluid which is circulated in this circulatory system. So there are three parts, that is the muscular chambered heart, the blood vessels, and blood. Now, heart is a mesodermally derived organ. So this organ, which is heart, is being derived from the mesodermal layer, and it is situated in the thoracic cavity, and it's between the two lungs, and it is slightly tilted to the left. So if you look at this diagram of the heart, this basically is the left side of the heart, and this is the right side of the heart, and you can see that it is slightly tilted towards the left side of the heart, right? And coming back to the text, it is also protected by a double-walled membranous bag, and that encloses a pericardial fluid, and this basically prevents shocks. So this entire heart is placed inside this double-walled membranous bag, and that is the pericardium. And there are four chambers in our heart, and the upper ones are the atria. So in this, these are the atria, that is the top chambers, and the lower ones are called the ventricles. So on top you have two atriums, that is the right atrium and the left atrium, and on the lower side of the heart you have two ventricles, and these are the lower chambers. A thin muscular wall called the interatrial septum, I highlighted a lot of things. Yeah, so this is the interatrial septum, and this is basically the wall between the two atria, that is the right atria and the left atria. So it is somewhere over here, and it separates the two atrium, and that is the interatrial septum. And also we have thick-walled interventricular septum, and that is basically this region over here, and this is the wall between the two ventricles, that is the left ventricle and the right ventricle, and it is comparatively thicker because the ventricles are involved in pumping of blood, and since pumping of blood requires more strength, the interventricular septum is comparatively more thick walled compared to the interatrial septum. And there is also a thick fibrous tissue called the atrioventricular septum, and the name suggests that it is the wall layer between the atria and the ventricle. However, each of these septa are provided with an opening through which the two chambers of the same side are connected. So within the atrioventricular septum there is openings over here. You can see over here that there are openings, and these openings allow the flow of blood from the atria towards the ventricle, and these openings are again guarded by valves. There is a tricuspid valve and a bicuspid valve, and these the bicuspid valve is between the left atrium and the left ventricle, and the tricuspid valve is on the right side of the heart. And for those of you who haven't yet seen the video about valves, please do watch it, and that's pretty important to remember certain things. The openings of the pulmonary artery and the aorta respectively are provided with the semilunar valves. So from the ventricles, blood flows into the pulmonary artery and the aorta, and in those regions as well there are valves, and these are commonly named as the semilunar valves. Now, the valves in the heart allow the flow of blood only in one direction. So there is a unidirectional flow of blood, that is from the atria to the ventricles, and that is ensured that there is no backflow, and again from the ventricles to either the pulmonary artery or the aorta. So these valves prevent any backward flow. Now the entire heart is made of cardiac muscles. Now the walls of the ventricles are much thicker than that of the atria, and as I said, because the ventricle are responsible for pumping out of blood from the heart. Now a specialized cardiac musculature called the nodal tissue is also distributed in the heart. Now the nodal tissue is specialized cells of the cardiac musculature, and it is a patch of this tissue, and these patches of tissue control the electrical activity of the heart. Now let us look at the diagram once again, and there are two nodes over here, that is the sinoatrial node and the atrioventricular node. Now these are the two nodal musculatures of the heart, and this sinoatrial node is named so because it is at the junction of this sinus over here, this body cavity over here, and the atria. So that is why it's called the sinoatrial node, and if you see, it is at the right side of the heart, and the atrioventricular node is at the junction, at this junction over here, between the atrium and the ventricle of the right side. So that's why it is named so, the atrioventricular node. And let's come back, let's look at the text once more. And a patch of this tissue is present in the right upper corner of the right atrium called the sinoatrial node, and another mass of this tissue is seen in the lower left corner of the right atrium as well. So both the nodes, if you see, they are at the right atrium itself, but they are just at different locations and having different names. And this is close to the atrioventricular septum of the right side of the heart, and it is called the atrioventricular node, and in short it is called the AVN, and the sinoatrial node is called the SAN, right? And a bundle of nodal fibers. Now this is a new type of terminology over here. It's a bundle of nodal fibers called the AV bundle, that is the atrioventricular bundle, and it is this bundle over here, and it is dividing towards the apex of the heart from the atrioventricular node. So from the atrioventricular node, these bundle or these nodal fibers called the AV bundle continues, and this passes through the atrioventricular septa, right? It's over here, the atrioventricular septa, and they emerge on the top of the interventricular septum, and immediately divides into a right and left bundle. And these bundles again, they are going to divide further, and they are going to give rise to smaller fibers, and these fibers are called the Purkinje fibers, right? So these Purkinje fibers are basically distributed throughout the ventricular musculature, and they are responsible for the electrical activity of the heart. Now coming back to the text, the nodal musculature has the ability to generate action potentials without any external stimuli. That is, the heart is auto-excitable and it is involuntary. However, the number of action potentials that could be generated in a minute vary at different parts of the nodal system, and the SAN can generate the maximum number of the action potentials. Basically the SAN, that is this nodal musculature which is present at the top right side of the right atrium, that can generate the maximum number of action potentials, that is 70 to 75 action potentials per 60 seconds, and it is also responsible for initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile activity of the heart. So it is the SAN which basically controls the fate of the heart, and that is the one which is responsible for initiating the cardiac activity, and that's why it is also called the pacemaker of the heart. So the SAN is called the pacemaker of the heart, or also called as the pacemaker of the heart, and our heart normally beats at an average to 72 beats per minute. And that's all about the basics of heart, and I hope that what I explained is clear. Thank you and have a nice day.